If you're craving thick, chewy, and loaded chocolate chip cookies, you're in the right place. We're making jumbo walnut chocolate chip cookies that are guaranteed to satisfy any sweet tooth.
Hey guys, and welcome to my kitchen. Today we are making jumbo chocolate chip walnut cookies. They are so delicious. They're my husband's favorite, and since today is Valentine's Day, I thought it would be nice to surprise him and make him his favorite cookies. And they're very easy to make, and they make great gifts. So let me get you started with what you will need with the ingredients.
You will need 1 cup of cold butter cubed, 1 cup of brown sugar, a half a cup of sugar, 2 eggs, a tablespoon of vanilla extract, 1 cup of cake flour, 2.5 cups of all-purpose flour. And if you don't have cake flour, you can just do 3.5 cups of all-purpose flour, 1 teaspoon of cornstarch, 3/4 teaspoon of salt, 3/4 teaspoon of baking soda, 1 cup of walnuts chopped, and about 2 cups of chocolate chips.
And so let's get started.
Time to mix. Grab your mixer and add the butter, brown sugar, and sugar. Cream together for about 2 minutes or until light and creamy. While the butter and sugar cream, let's prepare the dry ingredients.
All right, to make sure that all the dry ingredients get mixed well together before I mix it in with the butter mixture, I'm going to pour it into a bowl and combine them all together. So 2.5 cups of flour, 1 cup of cake flour, we got 3/4 teaspoon of baking soda, 3/4 teaspoon of salt, and then 1 teaspoon of the cornstarch. And then I'm just gonna mix it all together. Just like everything is mixed in.
Now for the eggs. 1 and mix. 2 and mix again. It's really starting to look like cookie dough now, isn't it? We're building that perfect base. And of course, we can't forget the vanilla. That sweet goodness. Just a little bit. We're mixing it until it's well combined. Just enough to bring everything together. We're almost ready for the dry ingredients. The excitement is building. Now comes the crucial part, adding our dry ingredients. We're going to add them gradually, a little at a time, mixing on a low speed. This is key to preventing overmixing, which can lead to tough cookies. Don't worry if it looks a little crumbly at first. It will all come together. Just keep on mixing. The last of the dry ingredients going in, and wow, the smell is just amazing. These cookies are going to be so good. Mix just until the dry ingredients are incorporated, and you'll see the dough start to come together beautifully. Now it's time to add the chocolate chips and walnuts, making sure that every chip and walnut is nestled in. Are you team walnuts or team no nuts in chocolate chip cookies? Let me know below. The contrast of the chocolate chips and the nutty walnut against the light dough is just beautiful. And the smell. It's simply irresistible.
All right, so once you have all the ingredients mixed together, and it looks so yummy and smells so yummy. You want to put parchment paper on top of a cookie sheet just to make it easier to work with. You can measure out on the scale about 4 to 6 ounces per cookie. That's option 1. Or you can use a 1/4 cup measuring spoon and scoop out that way. So I usually do the scale, but this time I'm going to do it this way to try both options. So like that, and you just keep scooping them out. I'm using 1 cookie sheet because it's going to go in the refrigerator. It just makes it easier if you store. I mean, I don't know if you have a huge refrigerator and you can fit more, then go ahead. But I usually just use 1 sheet to start off with, and then I will transfer half of the cookies onto another cookie sheet. Trying to avoid getting my hands all messy, but this isn't working the way I wanted to. All right, it's okay if they get a little messy. So this is the first time I'm doing it with the measuring spoon, so it seems as if I'm getting, they're probably smaller than the 6 ounces. That's why, so I'm getting more cookies out of it. All right, so I kind of played around with them a little, taking a little bit to make them a little bigger because like I said, I felt like they weren't as big as I normally make them. Since I normally, a batch like this should make about 8 or 9, and it was probably almost 12. So I took a little bit and mixed it in. You know, if you want them smaller, you can make them smaller. If you want them big, make them big. But this recipe is usually meant for around 5 to 6 ounces.
You can definitely use measuring cups or spoons, but for the most accurate measurements, I highly recommend using a scale. I'll show you how to do it in the next segment. So here's how I get these jumbo cookies perfectly sized. I use a kitchen scale. I'll line it with parchment paper, zero it out, and then scoop the dough on. I keep adjusting until I have around 5 to 6 ounces. The trick is to keep the weight the same for all the cookies. So if you decide to do 5.5 ounces, try to stick to that for each one so they all bake evenly. Once you've portioned your cookies, pop them in the fridge for at least 10 minutes, or better yet, overnight. Chilling the dough allows the flour to fully hydrate, which makes the dough firmer and helps prevent those cookies from spreading too much in the oven. That is the key to perfectly shaped cookies. Before we move on, I wanted to ask a small favor. If you are enjoying this video, please give it a like and subscribe. Your support means the world to me. Thank you so much. Now, let's get back to that baking. Baking time, but before those cookies hit that oven, I'm going to share a little trick for achieving that perfect melted chocolate pull. Get ready for gooey goodness. But first, preheat your oven to 410 degrees Fahrenheit.
All right, after 10 plus minutes, I take them out of the refrigerator, and I'll split them in half onto the baking sheet, and then I like to top it with chocolate chips. You push it right in, makes it a little bit gooey in the center. Make sure you have the oven preheated for 410. (410 degrees).
As I'm preparing these cookies for the maximum chocolate gooeyiness, I love to know what cookie recipes you're craving. Leave a comment below. I always appreciate your suggestions.
All right, then put it in the oven. Okay. Right. And you're gonna bake it for like 10 minutes, rotating halfway through.
Oven is on, cookies are baking, and the music is up. Time for a little kitchen dance party. What do you do while you wait for your cookies' perfection? Tell me in the comments. The timer just went off. The moment of truth. Let's see how our cookies turned out. That beautiful golden brown on top tells me they're ready. And wow, the aroma is heavenly. Time to get the hubby's expert opinion. Hubby's taste test. The final verdict.
Good taste. That's good. That's a good cookie. Could use a little peanut butter chips, in my opinion, but other than that, it's a good cookie. I give it a thumbs up.
Here's a little trick for enjoying warm, delicious cookies the next day. Just pop them in the oven at 350 degrees Fahrenheit for about 5 minutes. They'll taste like they just came out of the oven. Heads up, these delicious cookies contain walnuts. If you have a nut allergy, please be aware. You can definitely still enjoy these treats. Simply replace the walnuts with extra chocolate chips for a classic chocolate chip cookie, or get creative and try caramel bits for a gooey twist. Safety first.
Hey guys, if you like this video, please like, subscribe, and click that bell to receive notifications every time we post a new video. Thanks so much.